For Christians in the late 12th century, Jerusalem was the ultimate prize, the holiest city on earth. But it was under the control of the Ayyubid Sultanate. The last crusade, led by guys like Richard the Lionheart, had failed to take it back. So, in 1198, Pope Innocent III decided it was time to try again. But this time, he wasn't going to make the same mistakes. Instead of walking, let's sail to Egypt, kick the door in, and trade the richest province in the world for Jerusalem. Simple. It was supposed to be a masterpiece of holy war. Instead, it was a masterclass in how to fail upwards. The Crusaders never reached Jerusalem. They never even saw an Ayyubid soldier. They got hijacked by a blind 90-year-old loan shark, scammed by a trust fund kid, and ended up destroying the capital of their own faith by accident. This is the story of the Fourth Crusade. To get a fleet, the Crusaders went to the maritime superpower of the day, Venice, and the man they had to deal with was Doge Enrico Dandolo. Dandolo was over 90, completely blind, and probably the most dangerous man in Europe. He listened to their grand plan for an army of 33,000. The Crusaders ordered the platinum package. The Venetians agreed, but the price was staggering: 85,000 silver marks. Venice shut down its entire economy for a year to build the ships. The problem? The Crusaders forgot to check their RSVP list. Only 12,000 men showed up. They were a little short on the cash. 34,000 marks short, to be exact. Dandolo wasn't having it. He looked down the island, and an army of God was now officially grounded by the blind shark. They were broke, starving, and at his mercy. Dandolo saw an opportunity. He offered them a payment plan. Help me smash the city of Zara, and we'll talk. There was just one tiny detail. Zara was a Catholic city. This wasn't a holy war anymore. It was a shakedown. The Crusaders had a choice: be broke and holy, or get paid and attack their own allies. They chose violence. They sacked Zara for the Venetians. When news reached Rome, the Pope was furious. He excommunicated the entire army, but the Crusader leaders, fearing a mutiny, basically marked the Pope's letter as red and then threw it in the trash. While wintering in their conquered city, the Crusaders met Prince Alexios, a professional sad boy with a get-rich-quick scheme. His uncle had blinded his dad and stolen the Byzantine throne. Alexios needed an army, and he promised them everything. He'd pay off their debts, give them an army, even fix the 1,000-year-old schism between the churches. It was a golden ticket. For Dandolo, it was a business opportunity. For the Crusaders, it was a way out of debt. The crusade took another detour. They arrived at Constantinople. The usurper took one look at the Crusaders, grabbed the cash, and ran for the hills. Restoring Alexios was surprisingly easy. The Crusaders set up camp and waited to be paid. And waited. Alexios sat on his new throne, opened the royal vault and realised his uncle had stolen everything. The biggest IOU in history was about to bounce. The city erupted in riots. Enter Mourtzouphlos, a local nobleman whose defining feature was a magnificent unibrow and a deep hatred for the Crusaders. He had Prince Alexios executed, declared himself emperor, and told the Crusaders, "Your services are no longer required. Get out." The Crusaders were now in an impossible position, betrayed, broke, and trapped. So the army's bishops found a convenient moral loophole. They declared the Byzantines traitors to God, and suddenly, attacking the city was A-OK. In April 1204, they launched their assault, and leading the charge from the front, the 90-year-old blind Doge of Venice, Enrico Dandolo. They breached the walls. What followed was 3 days of destruction. It wasn't a holy war. It was the world's biggest smash and grab. The Crusaders never went to Egypt. They never liberated Jerusalem. Instead, they carved up the Byzantine Empire for themselves. It remains the only crusade that set out to fight one faith and ended up destroying the capital of its own. Pope Innocent III was horrified, but the damage was done. The great rift between the Catholic and Orthodox churches became an unhealable wound. But the Venetians? The Venetians got paid.